Hello boys, welcome back to another session of online biology video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 11th biology students, and this is for 26th July 2021. As we have been discussing and deliberating upon chapter number 4, Animal Kingdom, and already in our previous sessions we have covered the classification of animal kingdom, basis for that, like level of organization, body symmetry, embryonic organization, body cavity like coelom, segmentation, as well as the presence or absence of notochord. So based on these features, we have classified animals into different phyla. And under that, in this session, we are going to discuss about phylum PORIFERA. This phylum PORIFERA, you must remember at least two animals as examples. Cycon, okay, or Spongilla, that is freshwater sponge, and Euspongia, what is commonly called bath sponge. And here, as we said, we are going to talk about in this phylum PORIFERA the grades, levels of organization, the body symmetry, how many germinal layers are there, whether coelom is present or absent, where do you see them, what is the digestive system made up of, how respiration takes place, how circulation takes place, and how do they reproduce, and special characteristics of PORIFERA with examples. So this is how we cover phylum PORIFERA. So grades of organization, as I have been telling to you, that this is cellular level. There is no tissues. That is the reason why this is placed at lower level. The reason is that tissues are yet to be formed in this. And symmetry, mostly asymmetrical. There is no particular symmetry in this. But some of them are, of course, radial. And there is no germ layers. Okay, there is no germ layers. Like we say ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, that is not there. And coelom, there is no coelom, there is no body cavity. So we say acoelomate. You see here we are giving the examples of cycon, asymmetrical one, and then when we cut open this, we can see the presence of central cavity, and inside this body, when we see, there will be spicules. This is the unique feature of the members of PORIFERA. And where do you see them? The habit and habitat. Mostly they are all aquatic, and some of them are in the sea, marine. Some are attached, sedentary, attached to the substratum, and some are alone, solitary, and some of them are in groups, we say colonies. Digestive tract, it is absent, there is no digestive system as such. How do the things get digested? Through intracellular digestion, digestion inside the cells. There is no respiration, okay, respiratory system is absent. There is no, say, presence of lungs or gills like that. Still it will be evolved. And the circulatory system is also absent. There are no arteries, veins, heart, all that. And how do they reproduce? Normally through asexual reproduction or fragmentation. And then some of them are hermaphrodites. What's a hermaphrodite? Hermaphrodite is presence of male and female sex organs in the same body of the individual. Like we say, both male sex as well as female sex will be present in the same individual. Then such animals are called hermaphrodites. So through sexual reproduction also they can reproduce. And how about fertilization? It is internal fertilization. And development is indirect. Larval stage is present. That means egg becomes larva, larva becomes adult. Egg doesn't directly become adult. That's why we say indirect development. So you can see sexual reproduction in sponges. So water currents carry the larva away, and we'll go with the number one. As the larva is developing here, the sperm enter another sponge. The sperm cell fertilizes egg cell. There's a fusion of a sperm, nucleus of the sperm and the nucleus of the egg. And once that takes place, now water currents carry on the larva, and the larva settles on a hard surface and develops into an adult sponge. So sexual reproduction takes place in that way. So an adult sponge, as you are seeing here, releases many sperms. And the general characteristics, what are the special characteristics of this? Unique features. The very unique feature is water canal system. So this is a clue that in future blood circulatory system is going to evolve. Here water enters through millions of minute pores called ostia. See, these are the ostia. This is ostia. Look at that. Okay. And this is present in the body wall and into the central cavity. And the central cavity is called spongiocele. So the space present inside this is spongiocele. And from where it goes out through osculum. See, this is the osculum. Through this the water is going out. So entry is through ostia, enters into the inner space spongiocele and goes out through osculum. So this is the circulation. So canal system is used for food gathering. What is the purpose of this? It collects the food from that. Exchange of gases will take place and removal of waste also thrown out. So water enters into ostia, ostia to spongiocele, spongiocele to osculum, and water out. So during this movement of water, there is exchange of gases, there is food gathering, and most important, removal of wastages. And the spongiocele canals are lined with choanocytes. This is the important one, collar cells. Normally your NEET exam question. So choanocytes are present in which phylum? Phylum PORIFERA. So presence of spongiocele, you can see the spicules are present here. Water current system, you can see water is entering inside the spongiocele. From spongiocele through osculum it is going out. And when we take out this, you can see the larger one, amoebocyte. Then these are the things, choanocytes or collar cells. So the collar cells, we are expanding this region. When we expand this region, we can see the presence of choanocytes. So choanocytes are the characteristic features of phylum PORIFERA. And body is supported by spicules and spongin fibers. You can see the various alphabetical shapes, A to J, various spicules, and K is spongin fibers. You can see here, spongin fibers. And the collar cells, presence of collar cells in the central cavity. And some of the examples that you must remember is cycon, then spongilla, freshwater sponge, and the euspongia, bath sponge. So these are the examples that you must remember. Now we go to the next phylum. Rather, we will go at a glance. The grades of organization is cellular, and the symmetry is asymmetrical, and some are radial. There are no germ layers. Acoelomate, aquatic, mostly marine, sedentary, solitary, colonial. Digestive system absent. Intracellular digestion is present. Respiratory system absent. Circulatory system absent. Reproduction is in two forms, both asexual as well as sexual. If it is asexual, it is fragmentation, breaking of body part, and the broken part develops into an adult. And it is hermaphrodites. So having both the sperms as well as egg cells undergo sexual reproduction, and the fertilization is internal. And there is presence of larva in that, hence development is indirect. What are the unique features? Presence of water canal system, and millions of ostia, spongiocele canals are lined with choanocytes. Remember this choanocytes word, you must remember, don't forget that. And body is supported by spicules or spongin fibers, Example, you can remember that. And then we come to the next phylum, that is phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria. So the grades is, now there is improvement, tissue level. See, previously porifera is cellular level. Now we have improved, evolution, tissue level. Symmetry is radial, they are asymmetrical. Germ layers were absent there. Now diploblastic, there is ectoderm and endoderm. And then coelom, of course, continues to be acoelomate. And where do you see them? Aquatic, and mostly in the sea, marine. Either they are alone or sessile, means attached, or free swimming in the water. Either they are alone, solitary, or in groups, colonial. Okay, colonies. Their system, it is incomplete. There it is absent. Now at least some sort of system has started. So incomplete. However, intracellular and extracellular digestion is going on. Respiratory system is still absent. Circulatory system is still absent. That's why it is kept under low. One of the examples that you should remember under phylum Cnidaria are Coelenterata. The other name is Coelenterata is Hydra. So you can see the presence of the coelom or acoelomate and the presence of mouth. See here, that's the important one. And then that the incomplete system, digestive system, you can see here presence of it. So digestive enzymes, see, first time we are hearing the word digestive enzymes released from gland cells. And soft tissues are digested. Food particle is engulfed. And food particle is digested in food vacuoles. This is how the digestion takes place. What about reproduction? As I said, polyp reproduces asexually and medusa sexually. There are two forms, polyp and medusa. So polyp is asexual through budding. Medusa is sexual. Most are separate sexes, male sex and female sexes. Here it is external fertilization. Development is still indirect. Now you can see the presence of polyp and you can see the presence of medusa. Polyp and medusa. So in the medusa you can see the presence of gonads. So egg is there and sperm is there. So meiosis takes place. Eggs and sperms are formed. Eggs and sperms fuse. Fertilization takes place. Zygote and larva, planula. See, larva's name is planula. That's why you say development is indirect. What are the unique features? Tentacles are finger-like structures which surrounds the mouth of coelenterates, used for food capture as well as defense. Okay, these are the tentacles. And nidoblasts, that's why the phylum name Cnidaria. So there is presence of nidocytes or stinging cells present on the tentacles on the body with a poison-filled capsule called nematocyst. So nidoblast is used for anchorage, defense and to capture prey. So look at that nematocyst, the structure of it, the nidoblast. So you can see the tentacles and the edge of the tentacles. This is how the nidoblasts will be present, and they are for both anchorage, defense as well as to capture the food. So a gastrovascular cavity, coelenteron, that's why the previous name for this is Coelenterata, with an opening mouth on hypostome. You can see the presence of mouth, but unfortunately it is also working as anus. That is the problem with this animals under Cnidaria. And there are two forms, polyp and medusa. And both you can see the presence of gastrovascular cavity. And there are two types of body forms in cnidarians. One is polyp, is tubular, as you are seeing here. It is like a tube, and it is attached a sexual form with upwardly directed mouth and tentacles. Example, hydra and adamsia. Whereas medusa is umbrella-like. Look at that. Medusa is like an umbrella. Free swimming, sexual form with a downwardly directed mouth and tentacles. Example, Aurelia, jellyfish. It is like the sea, umbrella shaped. And unique features, alternation of generation. The other name for this is metagenesis. So you must remember this word. This is very, very important again, both for UPSC NDA as well as NEET exam. So it is the phenomena shown by some cnidarians in which polyps produce medusa asexually. Polyps produce medusa asexually, and medusa form the polyps sexually. That's why it is called alternation of generation. Remember, in plants we were talking of alternation of generation, sporophyte and gametophyte. Sporophyte and gametophyte alternating with each other to complete the life cycle of a plant. Here it is the medusa and the polyp. So you can see in the diagram also, example lobelia. So the presence of two gonads, okay, umbrella shaped one having gonads, this medusa, eggs and sperm, meiosis, fertilization, zygote. And remember this again, many times in UPSC NDA they have asked this question. Larvae of cnidaria is called, so planula, okay, planula, and this develops into polyp and mature polyp, and asexually reproducing, budding is taking place in this, and the buds reproductive polyp is producing the medusa. So polyp is producing medusa, medusa in turn is producing polyp, alternation of generation, right? And then corals have skeleton made up of CaCO3. They are rich in calcium. They are very, very rich in calcium. Examples you can remember, mushroom corals, brine coral, you can see the metropora, all this, and tubipora. So lot many examples, lot of coral, presence of CaCO3, calcium carbonate. And some of the examples that you must remember easily is Hydra and Obelia. Of course, you have got Portuguese man of war, sometimes again UPSC NDA, Physalia. What is called Portuguese man of war? You must remember Physalia. Then sea anemone also, okay, this also you must remember. Sea pen, again UPSC NDA question, Panatula. Sea fan, again